The Triple M Grill Team.
Turn Gus, MG and Matty on 6 till 9 weekdays.
Up north, it's a whole different story, and we're going to go to our new weatherman, Alan Jones, for the latest in Queensland.
In Brisbane, hailstones the size of soft balls. Softball, you know, play softball, those things. They're massive.
So that sounds nasty, but of course, Tropical Cyclone Marcia going to, cause a bit more damage than that.
Yeah, severe Tropical Cyclone Marcia, Pagey, as you mentioned, Category 5 cyclone is expected to continue moving southward and will cross Queensland coast at about 10 a.m. this morning. We've got some pictures here of exactly how it looks from the end.
Yeah. Boy.
That is scary. There's also a minor, I don't know if it's a minor one, but there's one over Northern Territory called LAM, L-A-M, so it's going to basically hit each other and go bang. There's a man up there in Yeppoon who does this for a living. He's an Aussie cyclone chaser. His name is Chris. Chris, how bad will this get, my friend?
Hey, going, fellas. This cyclone at the moment is about 150 kilometres north of us. I'm in Yeppoon, and it's heading southwards fairly slowly at this stage, and we should see conditions that get pretty bad here, starting from around about 8 o'clock your time, or between 8 and 9 your time. At the moment, winds are probably up around 80 kilometres an hour. We've measured winds up to 70, but I estimate them a little bit higher than that, but our measurements say 70. So it's not quite Category 1 level, but it's getting very close here. Now, remember, there's 4 more categories to go by the time the day's over, so things are going to get pretty bad here.
So, Chris, we've seen some movies doing storm chasing. Always enjoyed those, but it must be dangerous, and what do you do it for?
Yeah, look, we do it because we want to demystify what these things are about. A lot of the time people panic, and particularly the public that doesn't know much about these things, they tend to panic straight away when they hear any sign of a cyclone. Everyone goes into panic mode. We want to show them that, yes, it's bad, but let's not make it worse than it is. And we want to show, the other thing we want to show is what does a wind speed actually look like in real life. So what we have is we have a weather station, and we take mobile measurements, and what we also have then is cameras pointing at that weather station, which also relay the video footage at the time that the data was taken. So, what does 120 kilometres actually look like? Rather than estimating it, we can say, right, 125 does this. 200 kilometres does this. A lot of the time we can't do that until after the event, and people have to come in afterwards and estimate winds. Right. Whereas we want to show, what are the winds, and this is what's going on at the time those winds are reported.
Hey, Chris, a few years ago, Yahtzee hit up in North Queensland and, mate, just absolutely decimated a lot of the farmlands that up around North Queensland, around Innisfail. How bad is this one? There's been reports that this one could be every bit as bad.
Oh, look, in terms of strength, this is every bit as bad as Yahtzee and Larry, no doubt about that. The big thing with this one is the size. This one's a much smaller system. It's like a Larry. It's a much smaller system. Yep. Whereas Yahtzee was just a one massive, gigantic tropical cyclone. This one's what we call fairly close to what we call a midget. If you happen to be more than, say, 150 kilometres away from it, you're getting what we're getting now. You're getting 60, 70 kilometre an hour.
So you're saying
that doesn't do any damage.
Small and strong.
Yeah, small and really strong.
Do they like midget, or do they prefer little cyclone?
I heard cyclone throwing competitions could be the new thing at bachelor parties. Hey, Chris, what sort of winds, when we talk about Yahtzee, what sort of winds did they get up to during that cyclone?
Well, the estimation from the Bureau was 280. I think James Cook University went in and said they only saw evidence of about 240. So we'll probably see similar sort of winds here from this system. Maybe not here where I am at Yeppoon, because it might hit land a little bit earlier than by the time it gets here. But here in Yeppoon we should see, and I mean, you got to remember Yeppoon's a fairly big tourist spot, so it's going to create a fair bit of damage here to the tourist industry, I'd imagine, for at least the next few weeks, which is going to cost the town, many thousands, if not, a couple of $1 million just in that alone. So that's without the damage. Yeah, we're going to probably see high hundreds here, I would imagine. Might even nudge 200.
Look, Chris, take care of yourself. Thanks for the report this morning, mate. We'll speak to you soon.
No worries, guys. Thank you. Have a good day.
The Grill Team. Gus, MG and Matty Johns. Triple M Breakfast.